Bible stories. David and Goliath. The story of David and Goliath is one of the most well-known narratives in the Bible. It is a tale of courage, faith, and triumph against overwhelming odds. Here's a summary of the story. The setting. The Israelites, led by King Saul, were at war with the Philistines. The two armies were camped on opposing hills with a valley between them. Each day, a giant named Goliath, who stood 6 cubits and a span tall, approximately 9 feet or more, came out from the Philistine camp to taunt the Israelites. He challenged them to send out a champion to fight him in single combat, with the stakes being that the losing side would become servants to the victors. Goliath was heavily armed, wearing a bronze helmet, a coat of armor weighing about 125 pounds, and carrying a massive spear. His imposing size and weaponry made him an intimidating figure, and none of the Israelites dared to face him. David arrives. At this time, a young shepherd boy named David arrived at the battlefield. David was the youngest of 8 sons of Jesse and had been sent by his father to bring food to his older brothers, who were serving in Saul's army. When David arrived, he heard Goliath's taunts and saw the fear among the Israelites. David was deeply offended that Goliath dared to defy the armies of the living God. He volunteered to fight the giant, saying, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living God?" 1 Samuel 17 verse 26. David's faith and preparation. King Saul was initially hesitant to let David fight, as David was young and inexperienced in battle. However, David explained how he had protected his father's sheep from lions and bears by trusting in God's strength. He said, "The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine." 1 Samuel 17 verse 37. Saul finally agreed and offered David his own armor, but it was too heavy and cumbersome for the young shepherd. Instead, David chose 5 smooth stones from a nearby stream and took his sling with him. The battle. As David approached Goliath, the giant mocked him, saying, "Am I a dog, that you come to me with sticks?" 1 Samuel 17 verse 43. But David responded with unwavering faith. "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I'll strike you down and cut off your head." 1 Samuel 17 verses 45 to 46. With that, David ran toward Goliath, slung a stone, and struck the giant in the forehead. The stone sank into Goliath's skull, and he fell face down. David then took Goliath's own sword and used it to kill him and cut off his head. The aftermath. When the Philistines saw that their champion was dead, they fled in terror. The Israelites pursued them, winning a decisive victory. David's bravery and faith in God made him a hero among the people, and this event marked the beginning of his rise to prominence. Eventually, David would go on to become king of Israel. Key themes. Faith in God. David's confidence came not from his own strength but from his trust in God's power. Courage against odds. Despite being physically smaller and less experienced, David faced Goliath with boldness. God uses the weak. God often chooses unlikely individuals to accomplish great things, showing that his strength is made perfect in human weakness. Defeating giants. The story symbolizes overcoming seemingly insurmountable challenges through faith and reliance on God. This story has inspired countless generations and is often cited as an example of how faith and determination can overcome even the greatest obstacles.